It looked like a classic fall from fame and riches. They said Peter Criss, multi-millionaire drummer for the rock group Kiss, was a bum on Skid Row. Until the real Peter Criss stepped forward. Hey, that's not me. So who was the imposter? Meet him tonight. This is Hard Copy for...
We love you.
Oh, I just imagine all this time has passed, but at least now they know.
At least the family will rest easier. Now, remember the rock group Kiss? They made millions. So everybody was stunned at a report Kiss's lead drummer, Peter Criss, had squandered it all and ended up on Skid Row. And nobody was more stunned at the report than Criss himself. We'll meet the imposter next. The story made headlines. Kiss rock star Peter Criss had squandered his millions and hit Skid Row in Hollywood. Good story. Except back home in his comfortable Redondo Beach home in California, the real Peter Criss was far from Skid Row, doing just fine, thank you, with his beautiful wife Deborah and gold records. So who was this Skid Row guy? He's with us tonight. Say hello to Christopher Dickinson. We'll talk to him in a moment, but first, let's catch up with the confusion.
You say you feel so
So he couldn't sing so well. But back in the 70s, Peter Criss was one major superstar. He was the drummer for Kiss, the white-faced wackos whose act was one of the most trash-rocking, tongue-wagging, and money-making of the decade. In 1980, Criss took his millions and his Playboy centerfold wife and packed it in. But even today, the band plays on, with Criss in its Hall of Fame. So imagine the shock of this. Peter Criss on the streets, in the words of Star magazine, a homeless bum. It was the first scoop of the year. The Star said it found Criss living in a men's room on the Santa Monica Pier in California, having lost his wife, having blown $12 million, living like a dog. The story was a stunner, but nothing was more sad than the photo of that face, bloated, ravaged, still capped pathetically by the rock star hairdo. Could it be the same quick-witted Catman who helped mastermind one of rock's longest-running success stories? Sorry, Star, but it's not. It was People magazine that had the real scoop, revealing he's actually Christopher Dickinson of Evanston, Illinois. He's really a homeless bum, and he's been impersonating Peter Criss for years. The real Criss? Well, he lives a kiss away from Santa Monica in a beachfront mansion with his playmate wife and his millions. To add insult to the fiasco, the Star story broke as the real Criss was traveling east to be with his dying mother. The issue was on the stands as he laid her to rest. And this week, the Star was caught with its pants down again. A proud follow-up, Roseanne Barr's husband, Tom Arnold, no stranger to substance abuse, coming to the rescue. This time, Criss was described as a boozing bum. Meanwhile, a woman who says she knew Criss back when flew the imposter to her home in Boston to nurse him back to health. Unlike the Star, as soon as she saw him, she knew he was not Peter Criss, but she took him in anyway. The real Peter Criss is taking an advice from his attorneys.
'Cause me and the boys will be playing all night.
With us right now is the imposter, Christopher Dickinson. Christopher, thanks for joining us. Christopher, you've been passing yourself off as Peter Criss for years now. Who are you? Who are you?
Well, I am a musician in my own right. I play bass, guitar, and drums, but I'm not Peter Criss.
Well, how did Star magazine find you? How did you convince them that you were Peter Criss?
Well, I was broke at the time, and I went to get something to eat where they give out hot meals at about 5 o'clock. And a reporter and photographer came up to me and started clicking off pictures before I knew what was happening. And then after so many pictures, they came up to me and asked me if I'd be interested in making some money and putting me up in a hotel room.
Now, you actually met with Tom Arnold and Roseanne Barr. They came to Santa Monica looking for you.
Yes.
Could you tell us about that?
They came up to my motel where I was staying and offered me, well, first they offered me to go out to dinner, which we did. And Tom said he wanted to get me into alcohol rehab.
All right, Christopher, we have a woman with you right now in Boston who helped you out. Her name is Cheryl Ann Thompson, the woman who sent Christopher a first-class ticket to Boston. Now, describe, Cheryl, what happened when he got off the plane. Obviously, you recognize that he was not Peter Criss. What happened from there?
Immediately.
Why did you take him in?
Honest to God, I feel pretty compelled to help this person because he did indeed fly cross-country.
Well, Criss, you know, millions of people are watching this program right now. Do you have anything to say to Peter Criss?
Yes, I do. I'd like to say that first of all, I'd like to make a public apology, and any hurt or embarrassment that I caused him or his family or the people that have also tried to help me, I'm very sorry.
Well, Christopher Dickinson, thank you so much for joining us from Boston. Good luck with your new life. Hope everything clears up for you. And Cheryl Ann Thompson, thank you for joining us. Well, hope we cleared that up.
Alan, you did, and I'm glad.
Good.
Thanks. Now.